Hey, welcome to the Real Talk Podcast, man. I'm your host, Bruce. This my man, E, man. What's going on with you, bro?
I'm well, man, above ground.
So, when I heard that, man, the question that came to head was like, or the statement, positioning yourself around the right players or people that can take you where your talent alone can't. And I'm like, that made a lot of sense what he was saying, man. I'm talking about immediately Kinfolk podcast with Carlos Miller. It was around like minute 24 to like minute 26. It was like a little 2-minute clip. But like I said, positioning yourself around the right players or people that can take you where your talent alone can't. And you know, what's your take on that, man? When I said that, like, what do you hear when I say that?
I mean, for me, that's what building looks like. You know, you can't build alone. I don't care who you are, what you're doing, can't build alone. You know, it's people come into your life for a reason, and with different skill sets and assets and resources that you may not have. But for example, you know, one individual could be the mouthpiece. The other individual never want to be seen. However, another individual could be the brainchild. You know, another individual can be beautiful with the penmanship. You know, so it's like you start bringing all of these forces together, and then you know you building something. Right. You know,
you got a dream team.
Exactly. Bro. You know, it becomes a system. It becomes, you know, a machine. Right. Of sorts. So yeah, definitely though, man, you can't build alone, man. It takes a team, right team.
I definitely agree, man. And it's you know, like, I just thought that was interesting, man, because it's so true. And like how he used the analogy, like, yo, you playing ball in your driveway, you know, they doing trials down the gym. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's like, to me, what I was hearing when he said that was like, you know, sometimes you could be the coldest person in your little area, your little clique, your group, but then it's like you got to position yourself to be seen by more, or put yourself in position to do more. You know what I mean? Whether that's going to trials or whether that's going to talk to these to whoever could put you on, going to set up shop somewhere, do pop-up shops or whatever your business is, whatever your skill set is. Even with you with the writing, with the books, I remember you saying you was like you would go hand to hand and sell books. You know what I'm saying? Like things like that. Like, it's cool to let your family know, but then what about talking to strangers? You're right. Building that skill set to do stuff like that.
You're right. And also, man, it's you know, it's really just getting out your own way. You can't be afraid. And the reason why you can have on one side of town, man, and their own, we'll just call it their own collective circle or their bubble. You know, you have a best in that bubble. And then you have one individual that you see him, you like, boy, buddy, nice. You know what I'm saying? You ever played over there, man, at the, and then, you know, you ever played over there at the gym, over there on the west side, whatever. And they're like, nah, man, I just pretty much, man, I do it, you know, I do it over here in this space. But a lot of times the reason why you get that is because they're comfortable being the best in their space. Right. They're afraid to go somewhere else to be challenged or to be seen as a fraud. The only way you get better or become the best is when you align yourself around people in which you can actually learn. Like, anytime you have the best bestowed upon a name, right? Think about this for a second. Rappers, actors, ball players, whatever. When do they actually become the best? Think about it, man. When they actually get outside, they allow themselves to be aligned around people in which they start to develop different intricacies to the game. They start to expand upon their game because now all of a sudden, you know, over the summer, this joker wasn't just, you could tell, man, look at how he ball, man. He don't ball like, you know, like he from the South no more. He done added different layers to his game, man. He got a little North in him now. You know, listen to how he sound, man, on that track, man. Like, that brother, man, now he sound like, you know, he really sound like a chameleon, man. I remember back in, that was probably like getting toward like the mid 2000s on until like the later 2000s, like Lil Wayne. And you started listening to Lil Wayne, and then, you know, Lil Wayne started adding little intricacies of the North into his, you know, into his flow, into his rap. And I could hear, you dig? All that come from up north. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, but then when he spent some time with, like, you know, Dipset it's like, man, like things started changing. Like, you know, he started expanding. He started trying different things. He started, you know, he kept himself, so to speak, but then he was adding layers on to what he already had. Hence, you know, now all of a sudden people listen to him. They're like, bro, hey, it's an argument here that this brother here could be one of the greatest, if not the greatest. You know what I'm saying?
Because you see the elevation in his game.
Exactly.
You thought he was fired, but it's like, I didn't know.
Like, nah, that brother really, like, it's like, because sometimes, you know, even like a ball player or a lyricist or an artist, whatever, a lot of times, even a writer, you know, you start looking at things, and you're like, boy, I see the potential. Boy, you got talent. You got talent. You got skill. And it's raw. It's not refined. You know, sometimes you got to clean up a little, certain areas to get yourself. And sometimes it take meeting the next person and say, bruh, I see it in you too, bruh. But hey, try it like this here, or try to stay more so on the topic, or try not to go outside the line. See what you get. You know what I'm saying? Challenging you to do things that, you know, otherwise most that might be in your collective circle, they're not going to say nothing.
1,000%.
You see what I'm saying? So yeah.
One thing that come to mind too is like you said, linking up with different people. Like for me, it's like I can remember, you know, like you might be like, man, I ain't gonna fool it. They be like, yo, why don't you go on the north side and play ball or whatever the case may be? It's like, bro, I don't fool them. You see how they dress? Bro, man.
We can always find an excuse.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, what comes to mind with me is like unity. Meaning like you don't have to be uniform, but you all have to have the same goal. So it's like once you do click up, you realize like, yo, we might not fool a lot on, we may have differences and opinions on some things, but this right here is what we aiming for and this is what we shooting for. Like me and you, bro, like we kind of polar opposites in a lot of things, but we also share a lot of similar goals, and we're going in the same directions in a lot of things too. But it's like that would have stopped us from having a conversation, or it's like, bro, I ain't really fool with him. Look how you dress. Or same with me. Like, yo, I don't really fool with my man wearing like, what's up, square? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, if we don't go past that, we don't realize that that's the actual binding. Like when we bind together and we become another, like a force, like you said, a dream team or whatever the case may be. But I think too, we get in our own way with that too, because it's like while we know that this person might have what we need, we kind of stray away from it because it's like, bruh, I mean, he ain't really what I'm really used to gravitating towards.
And sometimes what it is, man, when they this saying holds a lot of merit, and it's true. Real recognize real. Yeah. So immediately you get around certain people, you're like, bro, this brother here sharp, man. I don't feel like this today. This brother here look like the type that's really gonna challenge me, and I don't feel like that resistance today. But again, without resistance, there's no growth. Yeah, because you got to be able to, you know what I'm saying? It's like either you can look at yourself and you can create yourself into a bottle and you can top yourself off. You can top yourself off if you're not careful. Or you can sit up there, man, and you can dare to be different. You can dare to be more. You can succumb. And then next thing you know, man, it's like the results become overwhelming. You know what I'm saying? And that means you're coming over the top now. Right. It's like, you know, they say, you know, the cream rises to the top. You know, you overwhelming now. Right. And it's like, bro, you can't. It's like, nah, you can't be denied, because it's like, bro, you know, before it was your skill. It was a skill that, you know, people saw as potential, but now it's you the X factor. You know what I'm saying? You are the it factor. So now all of a sudden, man, even if they wanted to try to try to cap you off, they couldn't, because it's like, man, you just can't be denied at that point. It's like your presence, your sheer presence at that point is on a whole nother level. Your presence becomes the experience.
100%.
And people, that's the thing about greatness. It's like with greatness, people are awaiting your appearance. Michael Jackson used to get on the stage long before he even made a sound. He just stood there. His appearance.
Real talk, yeah.
His appearance, man, became an experience.
That's crazy though. I want to double back to what you said too. Like, excuse me, I just want to double back on the fact that like sometimes our talent is enough, like it's enough to get us noticed, but then we also have to double down on like the fundamentals too. You know what I'm saying? Like
most definitely.
You know, like it's cool to know, like, yo, I'm talented enough to get in the room or to get notoriety or to get my name flowing and circulating. But then it's like, okay, once I'm here, then what? Now I gotta kind of add. I gotta actually learn a little bit more to define my skill set, or either I gotta get around people that know that, so that we both can be, you know what I'm saying? We could bounce off each other. Does that make sense?
We can both be sharp. You're right. Because it's like, man, if you think about it, bro, you got to learn how to maneuver in certain spaces,
right?
In certain creative spaces, because you could, if you bred, if you just naturally bred, just you Southern, naturally bred from the South, then to be real with you, man, if that show flow, man, if that's your lyricism is just straight South, then somebody drop a beat on you from the North. Now you sit up there like, bro, I can't get down on it. Like, how I'm supposed to attack this?
True.
I mean, like, but again, you start to surround yourself around different people, and then you start to take it all in, and you got to be open minded enough to do it, first of all, because you can't be closed minded and think you're gonna prosper, because it's like a lot of times, first of all, you have to deny yourself. The self that previously existed, you got to deny that person, because if you don't, then it's humanity. Just the human side of us, we're gonna always want to go to what makes us feel comfortable. Yeah. So that becomes the default. It's like, man, nah, bro, I ain't messing with that, bro. If you don't give me one of them crunk beats, man, you know what I'm saying? True. Back in the day, a crunk beat, right? It's like, but then you get like, one thing about a lot of North beats, man, it's more so, it's conscious. It sounds conscious. It's like sometimes like the North beats have a certain pulse to them that it's like, even before you start rapping, it's like, you got to go there, But yeah, but that's what we talking about. Even though we may be talking about, rapping, just like, whatever, it all applies. It's the same regard in life. You in the classroom, every teacher's, atmospheres, and it's not the same.
Right.
You can carry yourself in one atmosphere differently than what you're gonna have to carry yourself in another atmosphere.
100%.
That's the same for family members' house, man. You go to certain family members' house and you already know, kick them shoes off. Don't walk on my carpet. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
you ain't gonna come in and speak. You know what I'm
exactly. It's just like,
that's real.
Certain people, it's just like, you already know. You know when you're in the presence in a house of love. You know what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on in. Boy, don't act like that. You know where you at now.
Right.
You
Don't fix your plate.
Hey, auntie, what's up with you, girl?
Right.
Hey, I love you. I love you too. You better act. Hey, you around here acting brand new. You know what I'm saying? You gonna talk a little trash, but but it's like it's real though. It's and that's what makes you diverse.
Right.
And that's what's needed, because when you're not diverse, you're not able to relay your message to, first of all, you're never going to be able to relay your message to any and everybody. That's not going to happen.
True.
It's just not going to happen. But when you want to get the most out of an opportunity, being diverse is the best way to go about doing it. Because, you see what I'm saying?
Man, that hit hard.
Yeah. So,
that was a drop the mic on that. I ain't even got nothing else to say on that, bro. That was crazy.
Part, I don't even know what I just said.
That was hard though, bro. That was crazy. All right, bro. Switching gears. So I heard this quote by Chico Bean. He said, a lot of times you know what you want, but you should know what you don't want. And
I like that.
That came. I was like, man, that's dope, man. I was like, because if you don't know what you want or what steps to take, sometimes asking what you don't want out of the situation can help guide you towards what to do next.
Time out, man. So I'm hungry.
Right.
And it always happens when you're hungry. Well, what you feel like eating? I don't know.
Right.
But you're hungry though.
Right, man.
So then now somebody else trying to be proactive. Well, I'm gonna just go in there. I'm gonna get some. Hey, just go in and surprise. They bring it back. I don't want that. But you hungry. and I ask you what you want, you say you don't know.
Yeah, man.
Or it happens, I don't know about you, bro, but like for me, and it's like I do have this indecisiveness in me. Like, especially when it comes to like birthdays, Christmas, if somebody, which, you know, and I guess it's because I battle with the thought that you don't have to really do something for me on a selective day or a day in which Simon says you got to do it, because you could do it for me whenever, and it's still gonna hit hard, you know.
Right.
But it's like now when we put such an onus on a certain day, it's like, so like as a child, you think about it, man. You forced to wait so long, and then you wait until Christmas, you know. So now you sit around there, and then that's why people start lists, and that's why lists get long.
Yeah.
Because now they put such an onus on something.
Get it all in right now.
Let me put this down before I forget. But it's like as you get older, you know, the list doesn't exist, because for you, if you're making money, you feel like I go out and I get it. You know, if it's that important to me, I go out there and I get it.
True.
But then, if you never go out and get it, or if you tell yourself, sometimes I do. I'm like, you know, I know my lady gonna ask me later on, like, wifey gonna ask, hey, what you want? And I'm like, yo, I just tell her I want this later. But I guess it shows that it's not that important, because when she asks, well, what you want? I don't know.
Same, man. I add it to the cart and everything. Like, I'm gonna get this one. I'll get this for myself. A little thing. The cart is still in there. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, I'll wait.
Well, you better than me.
I can get it.
I don't even add it to a cart.
But you know, like, for real though, man. And it's like, for me, I think real deep. Or like when it's something like this, like I said, a lot of times you know what you want, but you should know what you don't want. And I'm like, man, like that applies a lot to life. But then I look at it on that grand scale, because when it applies to life, that's the foundation for everything else, and you could build off of that and find little aspects of that throughout your day. So if I know, like, okay, this is, you know what I'm saying, this is like, man, and then it's like, as I go through my day and I reflect on it, I'm like, man, I can see this here, I can see this here. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for me, you know, it like you said, it applies to food, what you don't want. Like, man, you know, what do you want? And then what do you don't want? Like, it's like, okay, I don't want to be broke. Mm-hmm. Then what does it take not to be broke? Because I don't want that. So what does getting that entail? Mm-hmm. And then you could reverse engineer it and be like, yo, I don't want that. So that's something that I need to stray away from to keep that from happening. You know what I mean?
True.
And whatever the case is, you know what I'm saying? I just thought that was a dope statement.
You're right, because you think about it, man. If you could save yourself going through a hangover, if you could save yourself from, you know, that too full feeling, you know what I'm saying, that groggy feeling, that I can't hardly move feeling, that, you know what I'm saying, I'm suffering feeling, you know, all that, or that I'm burnt feeling, all that, you know what I'm saying. If you can take it, you know, spare yourself,
yeah,
you think about what I don't want. That's it. That's the, you know, and bruh, like,
that answer a lot.
Yeah.
But, you know what I mean? Like, that's crazy.
What I don't want to suffer no more. You know, I don't want to cry no more. You know what I'm saying?
That was heavy, bro.
Yeah.
Let's see. That's all I had, man, as far as like talking points. I'm trying to think. I got a word for thought I'm gonna throw in real quick.
Go ahead, bro.
Word for thought. You may not be able to change the world, but you can change your world. And that can have an impact on the world. And I thought that was pretty dope, man. I heard that on the 85 South show, man. I was like, you might not be able to change your world. You might not be able to change the world, but you could change your world, which changes the world. And, you know, I just take that throughout my day, man, because it's like, it's so true. When you change your world, then you have an impact on the world. You know what I mean? And it's like, you don't even think about it sometimes, man. People may not even hear what I'm saying. They may not even cross their mind. But if you think about it, bro, when you change yourself, whether it's for the good or the bad, it actually impacts the world. It impacts everything around you, every person around you. And I just thought that was pretty dope.
That's definitely true, bro. Because, you know, like, you think about electricity, bro. Think about electricity, bro. How much of a part does electricity play in our life?
Man, we got electricity in us.
That's what I'm saying. My point exactly. So again, you still play a major role in the world, right? Because you think about it, bro. Even with electricity, it's a part of electricity, bro, that creates movement. So again, by you creating the right type of movement, man, guess what? It's influential.
1,000%, bro.
And so it's like, bro. So you definitely, bro. You said some vital things there, man. And I
Hey
dig
man,
that.
I got one more, man. Now this one is a little out there, so I might keep
Man,
this, I
let's
might
get it.
not.
Man,
You know what I'm
let's
saying?
get it. Let's see.
Carlos Miller, man, he said this statement. He said, speak what you see until you see what you said. You have to see it internally before anything will manifest outward.
All right, this is gonna be one of the ones you got to slow it down.
So speak what you said
Speak what you said
until you see what you said.
until you see which. Okay, I get it. All right.
So you have to see it internally before anything else will manifest outward. I was like, yo, that's pretty dope, man.
I mean, but that's no different in what we say in church, man. Life
What?
and death is in the power of the tongue.
Right.
You got to speak blessings. It's like, man, you speak life, or either you're gonna speak yourself into a grave.
Mm-hmm.
Either you can speed it up, or you can slow it down. You know what I'm saying?
1000%.
And that's the thing, man. It's that all that is right there, man, is affirmations. Speaking affirmations. Right. I am great. I am the best neighbor to the brother I never had. Think about what I just said. I am the best neighbor to the brother I never had.
1000%.
So now you're already saying your neighbor, even if your neighbor doesn't even exist yet, your neighbor, you saying you speaking this. You're gonna have a neighbor that's a guy that is gonna be near and dear to you than the brother you never had.
1000%.
We
man.
speak it, man.
I totally agree on that, bro.
Yes, sir.
That's all I really had, man. Like I was just those major things like kind of stuck out to me throughout the week, and that's what was kind of like I had wrote down.
Like,
you got anything, man? I know this one is short, man, but it's like I ain't. You know what I'm saying? That's all I had.
I mean, facts. I mean, I'm trying to think, bro. So I celebrated on. I'm just going on a little a little tangent for a second. I celebrated a birthday, man. And I was blessed to see another year, and this year, man, so far, it feels different to me, man. Like going into this new year, man, I tried to put myself in position. I apologize to some individuals that I felt like they deserved apologies. Sometimes you can feel somebody deserves an apology, and even when you go to apologize to them, they might even ask you for what.
Right.
But
That's
again,
happened a few times.
That's cool, but you do what you were sent and called to do, because from that point, you dropping a seed of healing. Mm-hmm. And for you, you know what I'm saying, it's just sometimes it's the action. We sometimes we given an assignment to do just to see if we're gonna complete the action. And the moment we align ourselves with the action, that's when we can really see. We can see a certain harvest, man, that otherwise we either eliminate it, or we just sometimes we could think ourselves out of it. It's like
100%.
bro, that's the one thing about it, man. We would sit up there and we would come up with a million different excuses, man, to why it ain't, why it's not gonna work and why I shouldn't do it, But again, just stay true to the process. If you was called to do it, then do it. That's what I say, man. And see it all the way through.
Right.
See it all the way through. I say that because in this life, man, it's easy to quit on something, to quit on someone, to quit on self. It's easy.
True.
But the challenging thing is seeing it through. But the most rewarding thing happens after you see it through. Because a lot of times, man, if it's almost like trying to answer a question that you have no idea about, and somebody trying to force you to present an answer at that moment. First of all, how you going to be successful doing that? Mm-hmm. You already setting yourself up for failure. So now you owe it to yourself. In order to answer the problem, you got to go through it.
Right.
The moment you go through it, now afterwards, you've gained the wisdom. Even if the experience may have been, if the experience may have seemed like it was worth it, or even if the experience feel like it wasn't even worth it, it was still worth it because you got something out of it that you would have never gotten out of it had you not gone through it.
1000%, bro.
Now, even in a category in which it calls for us to be given a title, the title being a winner or a loser, even if over here the results keep checking off loser, just loser all across the board. Now all of a sudden, when you probably started off, you probably was arrogant. You probably was too cocky for your own good. Now all of a sudden, you've been humble. So now you understand what life could be if this particular season was your whole life. But the good thing about a season is only momentary. It's only, temporary. The thing about it, that we can always implement pieces from a season into our whole life. And therefore we can grow. Therefore we can strive. Therefore we can drive. Therefore we can, allow ourselves to be passionate through our will. After that, man, the rest, man, is, as they say, is history.
100%, bro.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man. Appreciate you, E, man. Every time, bro. You know what I mean? This is a Real Talk podcast, man. If you like something that we said that you thought was dope, like, share, comment. Please do that, man. Share it with a friend. Share it with a family member. And keep coming back, man. Continue to come back. Appreciate you guys. And this is the Real Talk podcast, man. Peace.
Real talk.
We appreciate you giving us a listen. If you like this episode and would like to engage with us or support, reach out through our social media platforms, linked in the description, and tune in every Thursday to check out new episodes. See you next week.